Hey guys, ThePerfectG here. With the release of the HD plugin by 117scape, I just wanted to go ahead and do a little solo run just to kind of see what everything looks like and how it feels. And it's pretty funny, I actually lag less with these plugins on. It's somewhat of, I guess, the highest settings or close to it that's available right now. And it looks incredible. I mean, the fog and the depth of everything, it's like you're in a cave, crystal lit, it's supposed to look dim, but also a little brighter, and I think it does a really good job portraying that. It looks honestly incredible. And you're gonna see later in the run some of the other rooms, and I mean, it's more than just HD. I mean, it feels so nice. So this is Vasa. I mean, you're gonna see. I mean, look at the crystals. The design on the crystals. It's shiny. It's nice. It's beautiful. The flames. You know, I don't know. It just looks so clean. But yeah, so I'm going to be commentating over this a little bit here and there, just kind of giving my thoughts on the HD plugin and how it looks. Just wow. I mean, it just looks incredible. I can't get over the fact that there's like a foggy depth to it. As you get farther, closer and closer to the next room, it kind of goes away because you're there. Oh, look how bright crabs are. It's so nice. These crystals are all glowing. Ooh, wow. And you know what's crazy? Look at these orbs. It looks like it looks like a big old wind strike, a giant wind strike floating around. A little Saradomin symbol looking mage thing there. It's just this is impeccable. This is really, really nice. And they all have their own thing. I can't recall at the moment if this is what crabs looked like before, just a standard, graphical version. I mean the shadows there. Now obviously the shadows are static, to make shadows where they follow the physics of law, like in RuneScape 3, it's very difficult to do, and I don't know if that's something that would be possible. Look, it looks like a little Lego brick, like a little like a little box. That's awesome. We're gonna go into Tekton, and I could only imagine at this point what Tekton might look like, with the meteors falling and Tekton's giant smashing hammer, and you're gonna see it in a moment. It just looks really, really different, and I feel like I could have the settings a little bit higher, but my PC already can't handle it. It's hard to tell right there at the top, but I'm getting about 20 to 30 frames right now per second. I do have the GPU render up a little bit higher than normal. My PC can't really handle the 55 render distance, so I think I have it like 25 here, uh, maybe a little bit more. But it's just so nice. I mean, look at this. It's very bright. Oh, I just love the little bit of glow on there. But when I use graphical updates like this, sometimes it seems like I forget how to play. Let's say I wasn't even Venge there. I missed a few ticks, you know, doing some good DPS. It's a pretty good run. And I do 4-1 during this run, so if anybody's interested in that, um, Olm looks really nice too. Look, the shadows of the meteors. The meteors have shadows. I mean, it's just nice. I mean, the different assets that they use for this, I say they, but right now it still this is just 117, but I mean, it's just so nice. There's so much detail taken into account here. Look, again, I was already I was already venged, but I revenged, and then I didn't even need to use the venge, so it is what it is. I'm just gonna sit back, drink some brew, take my time. I wasn't trying to go too fast on this run, but as you can see, my RNG is pretty significant. I think right about here is where the RNG kind of fell off. I didn't really do too well. Wow, it's just so Vespula. It seems like Vespula isn't too different, just a slight glow on everything, but I don't know if this is. I guess these are like acid pools that are around here, so it makes sense that they're not glowing. Like if you go to the Port Phasmatis and you see the glow of it, it's very different than this right here. So I know it would be possible, but I think it's intentional. I don't think this is meant to be as glowy because you can kind of see the Lux scrubs how they shine a little bit more than the other uh, areas of this room. And I mean, just the shadow moves with Vespula, and I don't know if that's like basics for shadows. I'm not really a coder or any. I'm not talented in coding or anything, whatever this would be referred to as. But man, this is just incredible. We kicked Vespula's butt. That's not too bad. And we always love the boulder. Shout out to object markers so we can see the boulder. Even if you don't have the GP render distance up really high, you can the draw distance. I mean, you're able to see that tile, that object marker, and it's really really nice. Little slight glows here and there. I really like the fog aspect to it. I could see people turning that off though, because it does make it a little dimmer. But I think it adds to the immersion of chambers, right? Like again, you're in a cave. It's crystal lit, and I just love that you can have the plugins with this. Having this as the HD as a plugin is absolutely incredible. You'll see here I run out of prayer. Thank goodness I had the prayer enhance running. And I just realized now as well during this run, I didn't even pick that brew back up at Vespula. I dropped the whole brew there and I never went back for it. But spoiler alert, I do die during Ohm, and it's pretty funny. You'll see. I don't lose points for it, so if you know what that means, you know what that means. Just everything. I can't get over how the next room is fogged out a little bit. It makes sense because you're not quite there, so you shouldn't really be able to see it, but I mean the draw distance allows you to see it, so it's really impeccable. The glow here. Wow, this looks really nice. Don't mind the tile markers. Those tile markers are really just there because those are what I'm going to be using for the 4-to-1 guide when I put it out. And by the way, I do 4-to-1 in this. I do 4-to-1 in this, so you are going to see some things here. I am going to go ahead and commentate, I think, a little bit of how I'm doing the 4-to-1. That way you guys have an idea. Uh, by no means is this going to be a guide for solo ohm, but I think it is beneficial. And the more the more people can see how to do it and play it back and understand how things work, I think it'll make it beneficial for learning 4-to-1 and solo ohm in general. So I'm just kind of mage running, just regular 3-0 method, standard stuff. Just look how the shadow bobs with his head. Again, I don't know if that's like a basic thing for shadows or if that's super intense, hard to do, but like as far as coding goes, but it just looks nice. And nothing else, like the walls, they look standard, like they aren't graphically updated. And I've seen other HD projects where they were graphically updated. So you see here, I hit a 0, so the head's going to go middle based on that first attack. And I'm just going to pretend like I'm in the 4-to-1 sequence already. Prepare for a flame wall. And there we go. So we do 3-to-1 to fix it because it was a double auto. And I do 3-to-1 like that as opposed to how many people normally do it because instead of getting attacked on your third hit, you're going to get attacked on your second hit, which means you're against an invisible wall in Ohm's peripheral vision. So if he flame walls during that 3-to-1, it'll blank, so you won't actually take a damage. But if you do it the standard 3-to-1 method, the flame wall can mess with you, and there's a way to get around it by forcing yourself to stay for a fifth hit and taking a second auto and then doing another 3-to-1. And I mean, there's a whole thing here. I missed a hit there, but that's okay. It's always important to know that if you do miss a hit, you just have to wait an extra tick on the mid skip area where that one tile is. But yeah, it's pretty standard. This is just 4-to-1 here as we go through, so nothing too crazy here. Burn with me and overloading. Very scary if it drops my HP too low, but looks like I'm fine. 40 HP is good. And man, that was with 0 hammers. 224. That's not bad. That's not bad for 4-to-1 with no hammers. That's pretty good. I did demolish the mage hand there. Look at these shadows though. Look at these shadows when the rocks fall. The shadows fall as if they're coming from the ceiling, and it moves towards the location. So I can see this being a bit confusing. I personally don't I don't love it, but I also think it's really, really cool. So I also do love it, and that sounds a little hypocritical, but I don't know. It looks really nice. Of course, we hit a 0 there, so the head doesn't turn. So we're going to tank this hit here, but we are in the standard 3-0 method here, so this is fine. Keep in mind, in case you are learning solo and you haven't learned mage running yet, you definitely don't want to be on long range. This little drag here that comes from the right to the left, you won't have that drag when you're on long range, and you need to do that drag. So I get a couple extra hits here. I'm going to tank this auto in the middle. That way, if it's a flame wall, it gets avoided. Obviously, we're on crystal phase, but it's good to get in the habits of being ready for flame walls. That way, if it's flame phase, you're always ready for it. And if it's not flame phase, you could always just practice it. So again, just some standard 3-0. Nothing too crazy. I'm not tick walking or anything here. Just using up all my run energy because I have plenty of it. I know, that was a weird flex. 99 agility coming in clutch. And you're going to notice that this is the only time I hit a hammer this whole fight. I go a little early here, don't do all my switches, I hit a 0. Yeah, if only I had my Arcane and Torm, I would have killed it there. But that's okay. So I'm going to pretend like I'm in the 4-1 cycle. Flame Wall habits. I'm not. It's a double auto. So again, we just got to do a 3-1. My problem here is, for some reason, I didn't do 3-1. And I didn't notice until right there. That's why I kind of dodged it. Uh, Another flame phase habit. So we do 3-1. Tank the second auto against the wall. He's going to turn based on the first 2 attacks, and we're in. And that is the worst. Look how that's a terrible crystal placement. That is toxic. I really, wow, dude. Okay, bro. Okay, dude. Yeah, we're just demolishing this. I feel like I'm doing the melee hand slower now when I hit a hammer versus when I didn't hit a hammer, and that's wow. That that's mean, but it's still pretty good. I don't know how fast this ends up being. I'm about to see now. We're all about to see in the chat box. I have the CoX Editions plugin and the timers plugin. I mean to say, so you can see the times as they show up. 2:23. That's about the same. This was a second slower than the last phase, and I hit a hammer. So let's see. I wasn't sure where the rocks were falling there. I wasn't sure, so I just keep running. I've never been good at over 1,000 solos now. I've never been good at dodging these rocks, whether it's scuffed or unscuffed ohm, where it attacks a tick later or the damage rolls a tick later, however it is. I don't even know. Nothing really changes too much as far as standard 4-1 and such. Okay, a 0, and I don't even have 2 specs yet. I can't recall a time where I hammered correctly like that and didn't have a spec. Like on the first phase, my spec got lowered, but because it was so fast, oh, another double auto, pretty standard. I pretend like I was in 4-1, wasn't, so I do a 3-1 here to fix it. And because it is final, it is possible to get a flame. Now I hit 0 on the first 2 hits, so I'm going to tank the second auto and dodge right here. That dodge where the head turned to the right would have been the special, just like in standard 4-1. So right here, we would skip the auto attack, but I was a little late, so I got the auto attack. So we do have to do another 3-1 to fix it because that was technically second auto in the cycle. Attack null, attack special, or sorry, auto null, auto special, or an ass if you will. So I hit a bunch of zeros, the head goes middle. I tank that auto again. Same thing as last time, but it's just a different way I went about it, right? It's the same fix, same solve, but it seems like it happened because of a different reason, right? Before I hit zeros during 3-1, this time I hit zeros during 4-1 during the second and third attacks of the 4-1 cycle, like my lance hit 0, so the head went middle. And you don't have to do anything differently. You're just going to tank an extra auto if that happens, regardless of how you solve it. So not a big deal, but it is something that I'll go over in the 4-1 guide and more in depth. And right here, this isn't standard. This is the 1 tick after 3-0 method. I did miss a tick there. I missed my attack, so I just went back into doing standard 3-0 and just skipped my thumb hit, which is something that you can do if you're ever late for 3-0, the mage running. You can just skip your thumb hit as long as the head turns and everything is normal, but you just don't want to turn the head early. If the head isn't facing the middle, then you don't want to turn it to a side. So like if the head's all the way to the left, you don't want to go all the way to the right too early, and jerk the head from one far side to the other. You want it to go to the middle first, and then the far side. So do a little 4-0 action here because everything's about to die. And I'm noticing I'm about to get the sub 17, and this was not a run that I didn't mean to go for a sub 17 here. I was just trying to get a run with the HD plugin on. But we kill it. Head goes middle for whatever reason, and we start doing the head phase, and it's pretty standard, normal head running. I'm not the best at this. This is probably my weakest point, I think, in Solo Olm is the head running, and I do it pretty well because I enjoy the tile play. You know what I mean? Like I love clicking the floor and moving my character in funny directions. It's something that I got when I was watching. I watched a lot of Adicon when he used to do a lot of solo CMs all the time, and when he was rebuild back when he had a borrow T-bow, good old days, poor Addy when he didn't have 100,000 billion gold in his bank. But right here, wow, it looks so nice. I just love how everything looks. I let myself get hit by a bomb here, no big deal. So look at this. So I go for the pool. This is funny. I go for the pool. Look at Ohm's HP. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, it's not this pool. It's the next pool. Next time pools happen, you'll see. Uh, Ohm actually tick eats me. He tick eats my attack. It's real with using the pool heal. It's pretty funny. So you'll see around when he gets to around 40 HP. But right now it's just standard 3-to-1 head running. You hit on the far side and you run across. And before you reach the far left side or far right side, depending how you're running, you hit. You come out and do another hit here, tank a hit. It's like the acid almost has a little glow as well. It's really nice. And these are all things, like I said, I'll be explaining in the 4-to-1 guide. So right here, look at this. So look, Ohm is very low HP. I prevent it from healing. He didn't heal. And he goes for these next pools. But for some reason, I thought I went to the wrong pool. And I did damage. If you look back, I did damage to it to kill it. Look how close this is to sub 17, guys. Just by coincidence. I mean, this is a VTV, so it's supposed to be one of the faster raids. And I kill it right here. I die. 17 minutes flat on the clock, but it's one tick longer. Very, very unfortunate. I stay still here for a sec. I was pretty upset, but I do appreciate you guys watching the Perfect G content. This was a very fun solo run. I love the HD plugin. There are other amazing things. Check out Port Phasmatis. Check out, just the cities in general. Draenor has a lot of lighting. All of it is really nice looking. Some people have different opinions on it, and I know that this is a work in progress. And as great as it is right now, it's really, really wonderful. I know it's only going to get better, especially since 117 gets to work with Jagex on this now. So they're going to make sure something really, really spectacular comes out in the future that would honestly even top this. And I feel like they're only going to be able to top this because of 117's being there. So definitely worth checking it out. Try the HD plugin. Again, I lag a little bit less with it. And yeah. Guys, I stream on Twitch just about every day. Feel free to check me out over there. Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe to the video so that way you guys can be ready and see the 4-to-1 video when it gets dropped so you have that notification. Thank you guys so much for watching the Perfect G content, and I hope you enjoyed. Peace.